This lesson looks at the length on a coordinate graph. It covers 6th grade CPM, Chapter 3, Section 2, Lesson 4. Before we get too far, let's look at a coordinate graph. You should have learned this in 5th grade, but if you didn't, here it is again. This is essentially two number lines. You have an x-axis and you have a y-axis. The right side of the x-axis is positive. The left side of the x-axis is negative. The top part of the y-axis is positive, the bottom part is negative. When we write a coordinate pair, okay, or a group of points, for example, if we have a point here, we can call that point A. For point A, we would do our x-axis first, and that is 1 unit away from your origin, and it is 2 units up. So that we would say it's at point 1, 2. Again, starting with x being 1 and y being 2. In this lesson, we're looking at the distance or the length between 2 points. So what if we label some of these points here and say that we have A, B, and C, and ask what is the distance between the two? What we're doing is we're saying, how far is this line here? And we're going to be using the absolute value, okay, looking at the distance from 0. The way that I would do that, okay, is you can say that we have 5 here, and we have -4 here, and we can combine those. Remember the absolute value. And so another way you could look at it is saying from my origin here, I have 5 spaces here and 4 spaces from point A to 0. If we combine those, there are 9 spaces, and that's our total length. If we're looking at point A to point C, we can still count those in the same way. Okay, we have 3 spaces between point A and our 0, and we have 5 spaces between point C and our 0. Okay, another way you can look at it is you can actually look at the value of the pairs. So here we would have 5, 3, and for point A we would have -4, 3. And since our y-axis is the same, in this case 3 for each, we can ignore those, and then we can have the absolute value of them. So we're having the absolute value of -4 plus the absolute value of 5 to give you that total length. So then you have 4 plus 5, which again gives you 9, as we saw before. And you can do the same thing vertically between points A and C, okay, where the point for C would be -4, -5. Okay, in this case, your x-axis is the same, and so we're just focusing on the y-axis. So we have the absolute value of 3 and the absolute value of -5, which 3 plus 5 will give you 8, which is the same solution that you have if you combine those there. Try this one on your own. Find the distance between points A and B and the distance between points B and C. When I solved this, I did both ways for both parts, and we saw that the length for AB is 6 units, which you can look at the left side here, and BC is 8 units for that total length.